What is going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk about the brand new AMX 30 Borat that they're adding for France. Now, this thing is definitely going to be way better than the thing that we have in game right now. It probably still won't have a stabilizer though, and I want that to be noted right away. The French didn't use stabilizers in these tanks because they wanted to engage at far distances. Apparently, that's what I heard through the grapevine. If it does have a stabilizer, I'm very excited, and it is going to be like I said, one of my favorite tanks in the game. I absolutely love the AMX 30 design. I play the 7.7 one right now. I haven't actually grinded to the other one yet, because I told myself I was actually going to grind it. Wanted to see how it played, wanted to get good with it. But this one is going to have an ERA package on it, and that's basically the only difference, and it has some extra horsepower out of a new engine to compensate for the 2 tons that the ERA adds. Now, the ERA is going to add about 400 millimeters of effective armor against heat shells and ATGMs. This is good. It's going to work. I mean, it's going to basically be the M60 Rise of the French tree, which is sick. And I think the Rise is a fantastic tank. I absolutely love it. I played it pretty recently, and I think you guys like that tank too. So this should be one of those tanks that everybody's going to really like to play, and it's going to be exciting to see and exciting to watch. It's like a Leopard with ERA. I want a Leopard with ERA. Even though we're getting the Leopard 2K, I'd love to have something with ERA. I still stand by the fact that it is the most tried and true armor in the game after the heat shells start being introduced into the normal tree. You know, when you're in lower tiers, rolled homogeneous steel, there's not many variables there. You know, it's AP getting shot at you. If it has enough pen, it goes through. If it doesn't, it doesn't. When you start adding ERA and armor underneath and composite and different types of rounds like APFSDS or heat shells or ATGMs, things get crazy. So I think ERA is the most effective armor type that we have in game for those types of engagements. It works more times than the composite and the normal armor if there's a chance of bouncing, if you get what I'm saying. Now, I'm sure some people are just going to completely take that the wrong way and not understand it. That's fine. That's fine. What this means for me is I think they might be adding the BV. We've been talking about it for a while, but the T64 BV, I think, is probably going to be introduced. I mean, if they're adding another tank with ERA into the game at top tier, and they're adding the Chobham on the Challenger 1, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, I think it's about time for the T64 BV. Now, I don't know what else there is on the T64 BV. I just said that way too many times. I don't know what else is on that tank aside from the fact that it has ERA. It might have improved stabilization and stuff like that, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Other than that, oh wow, I just said that many times too. My brain is completely fried today, if you couldn't tell. The Challenger 1 has also been announced and being introduced with a 120mm rifle barrel. You know how the Brits are. They're pretty stubborn. I think they recently switched over to smoothbore, but they were still using rifle back then. They have the Challenger 1 with an awesome turret. It is a little bit faster. It can go like 52, I believe, 52, 30, 35 miles an hour. A little bit faster than the Chieftain. The Chieftain is a slow boy. This should be a mediumly slow boy. And along with that, it has a pretty beastly engine, 1200 horsepower. That thing should get up acceleration pretty fast. It should accelerate fast. It should get up to its top speed, and it should just cruise around the battlefield pretty nicely. I think it's going to play like a more mobile Chieftain. What would you do in the Chieftain if you were more mobile? You'd snipe from a little bit different spots. You'd get to places a little bit faster, and I think that's probably how the Challenger 1's going to play. I think that turret is going to be a nightmare to face, which is just unbelievable. I'm super excited to play that thing because I started to appreciate recently how to play a sniping tank. You kind of just have to sit back. I like to be aggressive. I like to rush in there and just running around like a chicken with my head cut off. When you kind of slow down, you can really enjoy the sniping tanks, and I suggest you try it if you're like me. And if you're not like me, I suggest you try running around with like a chicken with your head cut off a little bit. It'll make you a better player, trust me. So what does this mean for more tanks being added this devlog? And am I going to talk about them? Maybe I might talk about them in the future. I might not. I haven't had a lot of time recently. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm pretty busy, and I'm still working out a schedule. It'll probably take me another week to really sort out all the kinks in my time management and stuff. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be making videos, and that doesn't mean that I might not make devlog videos. I just think some of the tanks, you know, the Challenger by itself wasn't enough to talk about, but now that they're adding another ERA tank, I definitely need to talk about it. I think it needs to be noted. If they add the MiG-19, 100% talking about it. If they add the Abrams, I'm 100% talking about it. If they add any more German vehicles, I'm going to be talking about them if they're interesting. That's basically it. If it's a super interesting vehicle, super exciting, I'll probably add it. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are super excited about the Challenger and absolutely adore that thing. I'd rather talk about the AMX before the Challenger. That's why we did this video, and that's just kind of like why I haven't talked about the planes and stuff yet that they even talked about, or that they added, because, I mean, they're cool, but they're more of the same. There's a prop that looks like a P-51 in the British tree. Now, the Magach, which we haven't talked about, I don't know if I can pronounce that right. That might deserve a completely separate video just because of people talking about the money grabbing and stuff. I kind of want to address that situation and talk about why that tank, in my opinion, is a great addition to the game and why it has to be a premium. Maybe we could just talk about it here, right? This video isn't 10 minutes yet. Fuck it. Bang! We're adding more topics. So the Magach, or the Magach, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not from Israel, I'm sorry. Is a Israeli modification for the M60. It just doesn't have a cupola. Like, the one they're adding doesn't have a cupola. That's a fantastic premium to add, thank God. Get that tumor off your tank. I didn't need to make a whole video about that. I did that in like 30 seconds. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in axe and sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks.